On the surface, he's so crazy, he talks so much shit, and is like, that's an extraordinary human being. That's a rare, one in X amount of million kind of people that can do what he does and talk the kind of shit he does and then get into an octagon and fuck people.
Joe Rogan didn't see this coming. New training footage just leaked from Conor McGregor's camp, and the reaction online has split into two camps overnight. One half is calling it the most dangerous Conor has looked in years. The other half is calling it 5 years of rust wearing a highlight reel. So which one is Joe Rogan in? Because what he said about this footage, and about the man standing across the cage from McGregor in 5 weeks, might be the most honest take anyone in the sport has given yet. And the betting markets agree with him more than the comments section does.
Gentlemen, it's great to see you again. And you guys met 13 years ago as young, exciting prospects, and now on July 11th, you face each other again as legends. First of all, Conor, I'd like to talk to you first. What has it been like having these 5 years off, having the horrible injury, and now finally having an opportunity to get back into the octagon?
Joe, it's great to be back. It's refreshing to be back. The body is invigorated. The mind is sharp and fresh and ready to go. I'm ready to enter this brutal business as a ruthless fighter once again. And I'm very, very excited and happy to be back.
And Conor, you particularly wanted this fight at 170 pounds. Why is that?
You know, I seen Max and Charles starved themselves the last time out at 155 pounds for the BMF. I didn't think there's anything BMF about.
Let's set the scene, because the footage doesn't mean anything without it. Conor McGregor hasn't fought in the UFC since July 2021. That night against Dustin Poirier, his leg snapped clean in the first round, and the sport's biggest star disappeared from the octagon for what's now closing in on 5 years.
We got to a figure, and we kept the deal as it was.
Okay.
The number is just the number.
How do we get to Max? It seemed like you had the pick of the litter. Why Max?
Again, they picked that.
Oh,
they picked that.
All right.
I had the date. They picked it. It just became Max. They didn't like the way the shape of the other belt went. There was a lot of
The BMF.
yeah. Well, you know.
Was Oliveira discussed at any point?
No.
Diaz?
No. It just felt. The only one that was there was Holloway.
Really?
Just landed on
Pratchez?
Holloway.
What was the story with Pratchez?
Pratchez, that how you pronounce that?
Yeah, it's the Brazilian.
Listen, they said to me about him. I said, yeah, no problem. Send the contract. So I'm saying, yeah, for about 2 weeks. Where's the fucking contract? No contract came. Do you know what it was? They wanted me back down at 155 pounds.
Okay.
So I think they were trying to throw names at me to say, well, I said, yes, no problem. So your man went 5 rounds with Gary. I seen the fight. Little southpaw, little whippy southpaw. So, yeah, no problem. I'm a 170 pounder at the minute. Let's see how it goes. If offers come on the table.
There was a planned return against Michael Chandler in 2024 that fell apart on an injury too. So when new sparring footage actually surfaced this time, with an actual date attached, an actual opponent, an actual arena, people paid attention in a way they hadn't in years.
All right, let's move on over to Conor McGregor, because, you know, we talk about Conor, the views just go up. So we got to talk about
Say his name, Conor.
Yeah,
We're talking about Conor.
100%. Smoke him like a brisket. That was Masvidal's line from last week that went viral. All right, this is a quote from Conor on Max. This is a quality opponent. I wish I could do an Irish accent, but I can't.
Let's hear it.
And our last bout was martial arts mastery by yours truly. So I plan on doing it again. I plan on showing my growth and my improvements there. I'm very, very excited for it. Preparation has gone very well. We are living, breathing, and sleeping in the gym. What's your guys' takeaway on this quote from Conor McGregor?
I don't know if he's living, sleeping, all that in the gym. For sure, he's probably preparing. But I thought in their first fight, he showed a full arsenal of martial arts. I mean, he injured his legs, switched to wrestling. Nobody knew he was going to be shooting shots like that. He's a knockout guy, he's a stand-up guy, but he went out there and won the fight, did what he had to do. That's mastering martial arts, switching from being a kickboxer to getting your opponent down, winning rounds, and winning the fight. I thought he did a great job the first time.
If he is sleeping and living in the gym, like he says he truly is sleeping on the mats and living in the gym, do you believe?
Conor's opponent is Max Holloway. The date is July 11th. The card is UFC 329, headlining International Fight Week at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. And here's the detail that makes this whole thing heavier than a normal comeback fight. These two have already fought once before. Back in 2013, on the prelims of a card nobody remembers, a 21-year-old Holloway, 6 fights into his UFC career, ran into a hungry McGregor and lost a clear decision.
Brother, any weight, any place, anytime. Like you said, we've been talking about the BMF title, real BMF, so we don't walk around scales, brother. You already know this. I'm just happy that you're back, man. Can't wait.
Well, everyone's happy that the both of you are back and that the both of you are going to be fighting.
70 pounds. I've done it and I've experienced it. I've experienced the difference in camp, the difference in carrying the weight, the difference in the opponent being able to absorb the damage. And I'm excited to welcome young Max again into this division.
Conor, how difficult has it been recovering from the injury and, just going through this 5 years of being on the sidelines?
Joe, I'm strong. I'm strong-minded, and you've got to be. So what other option had I got but to get back on my feet again and build myself back up? And I relished the opportunity to do so. And that's it. Here I am back. What's done is done. What's in the past is in the past. Now, we are here in the future, and the fight is booked. And I am incredibly encouraged and excited to grace the octagon.
What barely anyone mentions is that McGregor tore his ACL early in that fight and still ground out 4 takedowns to seal it. 13 years later, both men are completely different fighters walking back into the same cage, this time at welterweight. No weight cut, 5 rounds, and a lot more on the line than a prelim slot. Now, here's the footage.
Yes.
McGregor's main training partner this camp is an Italian lightweight named Niccolò Sali, someone who's been at his side at SBG for over 2 years. The clips making the rounds show McGregor landing flying knees in live sparring, looking sharp, looking fast, and McGregor himself leaned into the moment with a caption built for headlines, telling fans his legs are still sharper than a guillotine.
Well, we're incredibly excited to see you. Max, what are your thoughts on a guy like Conor being out for 5 years, having that brutal injury, while the entire time you've been very active?
It doesn't matter, I see a lot of people talking about it, but we're fighters, man. This is what we do. I can't wait, man. I'm looking forward to the best version of Conor McGregor. I know, look the way he's talking, bro. He's fired up. I'm fired up. I can't wait to see him July 11th.
Expected, Max, because I'm coming in fast. I tell you this, how are you doing after your 5-round fight with Oliveira? I thought some of the shots went to the back of the head. You had an opportunity to repay the favor you didn't take. I was disappointed in the result and the outcome of the bout and the shape the bout took. But how's the body? How are you feeling?
It is what it is, bro.
How's Hawaii?
I'm good.
I look forward to seeing you again in Las
great.
Vegas.
Hawaii's great, brother. Hawaii's great. I can't wait to see you in the Ninth Island, brother. How's Dublin? I heard you're sleeping in the gym, so that's great to hear, man. We're glad to have you back. I can't wait to get in there and mix it up, bro. We're gonna make some record.
For a man who's spent half a decade being asked if he's done, that's not a line to be thrown away. That's a direct response to every person who's already written him off. And that's exactly where Joe Rogan's take gets interesting, because he didn't just react to the footage, he reacted to the whole picture.
on the surface, he's so crazy, he talks so much shit, and is like, that's an extraordinary human being. That's a rare, one in X amount of million kind of people that can do what he does and talk the kind of shit he does and then get into an octagon and fuck people up.
But you mean mentally? You don't
Mentally.
You don't mean extraordinary.
Control of the mind. Well,
Yeah.
extraordinarily physically, obviously,
yeah.
but extraordinarily mentally. Are you a fan of MMA?
No.
I'm going to show you this fight between Conor McGregor and Jose Aldo. Now, Conor McGregor at the time was this incredibly brash, shit-talking Irish guy from Dublin who is beating all these people up, and he gets a shot at the title. And he gets a shot at the title against this guy, Jose Aldo. And Aldo is a fucking legend, and everyone respects Aldo, and everyone's terrified of Aldo. And all Conor does through the entire training camp and all the press conferences.
Rogan immediately pointed out the problem nobody wants to say out loud. How do you expect the same Conor when he hasn't fought in 5 years?
And my strong rockets. These are missiles, yeah. These are fucking missiles.
While McGregor's been off doing everything except fighting, Holloway's been doing the opposite. Constant high-level competition, a BMF title run, a win over Poirier, the exact kind of reps that don't show up in a sparring clip, but show up the second the cage door closes. Rogan's lean, when you actually listen to the whole answer and not just the soundbite, is toward Holloway. Not because McGregor looks bad, because being active is bigger than highlight reels, and Holloway never stopped. The numbers back him up harder than people realize.
2, is that enough at this point with 5 years off to now starting to get really serious and prepping for this fight like that?
I don't care. If you sleep in a garage every day, it doesn't make you a car, you know? So
That's awesome.
I don't care how much he's been sleeping in what. Max has been doing this. That's the one thing we do know. How many times does Max still fight in a year? Twice a year?
Yeah.
3 times a year against the world's
best. Sleeping.
Every time he's out, he's fighting the world's best. So I don't care if Max is sleeping in a 5-star hotel or not. I got Max. Again, I'm gonna say just smoking this dude. You know,
Speaking of sleeping, Conor McGregor, I'll put you to sleep in Abu Dhabi, bud.
Clip it. I love
Clip it and rip it.
Oh,
Sleepy Mac.
And how much do you take from their last fight? So in the last fight, Conor
It's too long ago,
tore his
man.
ACL,
It's too long
and he
ago.
out-wrestled
Yeah,
him.
it's too
long
Is there
ago.
anything
Too
like?
long
Do you
ago.
think
Complete
Conor's
different
going in this fight trying to out-wrestle Max because he did get out-wrestled in his last fight against Oliveira?
Nah, that takes
Connor's
too
not
much gas.
that kind of wrestler.
Yeah, he's not.
And he doesn't have the gas tank to, if he does wrestle and doesn't get a takedown or has to scramble, those later rounds, he's going to be gassed, bro.
Yeah.
Especially at 170, he's going to be heavier. I don't know. I don't think it's good. Max is a volume cardio guy with power now, so I think it's just trouble.
Yeah.
The later it goes.
Look at Chimaev. I mean, Chimaev is a wrestler. He's great at wrestling, and by the second round, he was exhausted from wrestling. Wrestling just taxes the body. Like it's insane. It's the hardest part of MMA as far as cardio goes, is the wrestling aspect, and especially if you're not used to doing it. Connor's never grinded out a fight for 5 rounds of trying to take someone down and control them. So I don't see
Especially
that
like
being a-
Max. I know against Charles he didn't have the best outing, but besides that fight with Charles, I've never seen Max get controlled ever in
No,
my life.
no,
He's
that's what
fought
makes
a
it so
lot of
impressive.
Good wrestlers, you know. He's never been controlled, or I never seen him get taken down and just stay on his back. So I don't think Connor's the guy to do that. You know, Charles is exceptional in that department.
Holloway holds the UFC's all-time record for significant strikes landed, over 3,600 of them, and total strikes landed across his career. That's not a guy who relies on one big shot. That's a guy built to drown you in volume over 25 minutes, which happens to be exactly how long this fight is scheduled to last.
That's, to me, part of what I love about this. It's like seeing, like, how does someone handle this pressure? How does someone handle this moment? How do you handle this guy in Jose Aldo, who's a fucking assassin, and get him so in his head that he charges forward and gets clipped with a perfect left hand? Like, out of character. Like, he's usually a more clever fighter.
That was a bad fight move that he made.
100%.
Just like rookie.
Not only was it a bad fight move, but Conor anticipated it. So if you watch Conor warming up in the green room, in the dressing room before the fight, He's practicing that very move, and he imitates Jose Aldo's movement and behavior. It's like he knew he was going to do that. So he's so far ahead of this game.
Yeah.
That's why it's so interesting to me. See, look at him. Look at him in the dressing room on the left-hand side. See, he's mimicking his movement and what he's going to do. And he even mimicked the way Aldo moves around. How Aldo, it's not in this particular clip, but he mimics how Aldo is kind of stiff. And he likes to really load up on his shots because he's got big power. And he wants to move forward. He wants to crack Conor so bad that he just moves forward and he leaves an open.
And while McGregor is posting flying knees for the algorithm, Holloway is doing something a lot less flashy and a lot smarter. He's never fought a single round at welterweight in his entire career. So instead of guessing what that extra size and reach feels like, he brought in Jack Della Maddalena, a former UFC welterweight champion, specifically to simulate McGregor's frame and style in camp. While the internet was debating Conor's highlight reel, Holloway was building himself a 6-week McGregor simulator. That's not the move of a guy who's nervous. That's the move of a fighter closing every door before fight night even arrives. The betting markets clearly noticed the same gap Rogan did. Now here's the real question, and it's the one worth sitting with after watching that footage for yourself. Are you watching a 37-year-old finding his old magic right on schedule, or are you watching 5 years of rust dressed up by a highlight reel and a good camera angle? Drop your prediction below. Will it be a finish, decision, or shock of the year? And tell me which camp you're in, because right now even Joe Rogan isn't fully sure.